What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 90210 Faux Show. This is a podcast on the hit show from the 90s, 90210. It ran from 1990 to approximately year 2000. And I break it down, everybody, okay? That's what I do. I'm 41 years old. I wear a bathrobe in my basement with my German Shepherd sitting beside me, breathing heavy on the second step from the basement there. I don't know why she doesn't do it on the first step. She sleeps on the second step, okay? Because that's her step. All right, everybody, let's break this down, all right? Now, this is, technically, I guess this would be episode 7, but it's actually the 8th episode. I'm not sure if they actually count the pilot as the first episode, but I do. I'm just looking on IMDb here, and that's why it's a little confusing. The episode's called The 17-Year Itch, okay? It was aired on November 29th, 1990. What were you guys doing in 1990, November 29th? I don't know exactly what I was doing on that day. I do know that my 16th birthday was just, 15 days before that. And I was a sophomore in high school. I was actually the same age, supposedly, these children in 90210 were supposed to be. And I just figured it out last episode. I started paying attention to the dates these things were aired. And maybe that's why I liked it so much. It was directed, this episode, by Jefferson Gibby. All right. Jefferson Gibby, just so you know, a little background, he's actually still working on, he's still working today. He's working on Criminal Minds, Beyond Borders. He's worked on Criminal Minds, the first series, The Closer, a little thing called Bones. He did a couple Baywatches. He did Hunter, if anybody's old enough to know what Hunter was. Yeah, well, I do. He did some Dynasty, and he also, he was second assistant director on Charlie's Angels. I mean, this guy goes back to 79 and 80 working on Charlie's freaking Angels, which is pretty amazing. That's who directed it. It was written by Darren Star. Everybody knows who Darren Star and Amy Spies. Darren Star, what a hitter, right? I mean, Darren Star, give me a break here. I mean, this guy was born in Potomac, Michigan. Didn't know that, right? Darren Star, of course, he wrote Second City, Sex and the City 2. He wrote on Melrose Place. He wrote Sex and the City, the movie, the series. I don't know if he was a creator. Oh my God, he was the creator of Sex and the City. Is this guy counting all his money or what? And of course, he's the creator of 90210, 291 episodes. Is pretty ridiculous. So Darren Star, counting all his money. Do you think Darren Star's his real name? I don't think so, right? Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just kind of hating because I'm like, God, this guy's name's Darren Star. All right. How many people went to Hollywood and their fake last name was Star? All right, everybody. If anybody hasn't clicked off yet or thumbed off this yet, because I'm talking about Darren Star and the goddamn director of this episode, the episode again is The 17-Year Itch. All right, and if anybody knows what that means, you know where I'm going. All right, this episode wasn't my favorite episode, but not to say it wasn't a juicy episode so far. This episode clearly, it does show Brandon and Brenda Walsh. It does show their lifestyle, right? But this episode is definitely focused on Cindy Walsh, okay? Cindy Walsh is Brandon and Brenda's mom, right? She's, and as these episodes have gone on, these first 7 episodes before this, it's showing Cindy's kind of, Jim Walsh, her husband, is an accountant for this Beverly Hills firm, and he seems to be gone a lot, right? He's a good father, but he's gone a lot. Cindy's kind of in this new place. Different to her also because, she's an adult, but things are different for her. And as these episodes go on, you can tell Cindy's trying to figure it out too, and she's got some frustrating, things going on. And this is definitely an episode that highlights that. The side story is that Brandon and Brenda are doing this twins study at a college that their teacher in high school signs them up for. And they kind of learn a little bit about themselves. But that episode's it's just a side note. Let's get started. So Cindy and her assistant, right, which is like her housekeeper, like it's her assistant, his sister with around the house, and they're at like a plant nursery, right? And some creepy guy's just taking pictures of Cindy, right? And Cindy's like, let's get out of here with these weirdos. And then this guy goes, Cindy! And he walks over with this handsome Robert Redford looks. Because he's old just like Cindy is. Older. I'm not saying old. but older. He went to college with her, right? And he dated her for a month, comes to find out, right? So he's taking pictures of her. He gets real chummy with her. And Cindy walks around with this old friend in the nursery. And he comes over for dinner and stuff like that. And Jim Walsh is there. The whole family's there. And they get to know how they were friends and how this guy actually introduced Cindy to this guy introduced Cindy to Jim, and then Jim took it from there. All right, pretty cool, pretty cool, man. And so Jim, Jim goes to bed later that night. He wakes up and he knows Cindy's not in bed. She's still down there at 3 a.m, still talking to this guy. Right? Cindy's kind of going down memory road with him, right? The kids are noticing it. The kids are noticing, like, wow, this guy's pretty cool, right, at first. Next day, cut to the next day, this guy goes, hey, Cindy, let me take you up to town. Looks like he's driving her around Venice Beach type stuff in his little fucking MG. It's, some little foreign piece of shit, little cool little car with a convertible, giving him his, all the lines he's been doing. This guy's a photographer that's been... just to give you a little insight on who this guy was. This guy was a photographer in college. He was a guy that went and worked for National Geographic, went around the world. He's that type of guy, right? He's like this worldly Robert Redford looking, nice hair, never been married, never had any kids, kind of like, just a freedom type guy. And Cindy sees that and she goes, oh my God, I wish I had, then he's slowly throwing some game on her, obviously. Inappropriate because she's a married woman, okay? That's very inappropriate is what I'm saying. So that's what this episode's about. Cindy's kind of going through this whole episode of like, what if? What if I would have kept with this guy? What if, And this guy's definitely trying to slowly sell her on, do you ever play the what if game, Cindy? And Cindy's like, I gotta get back home, right? And then her and Jim, you see through the episode, are having some problems. And Jim's constantly working. He's kind of got his nose to the grind, and it's one of those things, right? The kids are noticing this guy coming around a lot. The kids are noticing the mom in the mirror a little bit too much, and she's worried about what clothes she's going to do. The photographer's having some kind of gallery that he invited everybody to, but Jim couldn't go, obviously, but the kids and everybody can go, and Cindy's getting all dolled up, right? So they go there. Jim's like, hey, I can't go to the gallery. I got to work. And the kids are noticing this, right? The kids during the episode, like Brenda, starts asking Kelly about, what is it like to be divorced? And Kelly drops some knowledge on him, like, yeah, you know what? The problem is, like, they get a divorce, and then they try to gather their life up, and then the kids kind of get lost in the way and kind of got pushed to the side. So Brenda's like, oh, good, all right? And you also notice Brenda's kind of giving her mom a little bit of an attitude, right? Like, where it's just like, oh, God. Mom, doing the whole Brenda thing, right? And Cindy, you can tell, she's a good woman. She's a good woman. But one thing that just blew my world about 25 minutes into this episode with commercials is that Cindy goes out at this gallery outside for about 20 minutes with this guy, and they're out there talking. And Cindy and this guy go to kiss. But she goes in for the kiss. Like Cindy, like her lips and her mouth area pushes towards him. So it's not like he pushed his lips in there. She pushed towards his lips. What blew my world? It blew my world where I'm like, Cindy Walsh, are you out your mind? Right? Cindy Walsh out there acting like a damn floozy. But I get it. She's being neglected at home. She's in a new place. Later that night, Jim comes home late. Cindy's all fucked up in the head, because she's like, oh my God, I just kissed a guy and I wish he could have took me home. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thinking I'm sure Cindy's going through. Jim gets in bed grumpy. I don't want to talk about it. I've had a long day. Kicks out the light. So it ain't helping the situation, right? And then meanwhile, as all this stuff's going on, Brenda and Brenda are going to this college for this twin study. And it's not going well over there. They're going through a thing at home, and they got this professor asking them all these questions. And let's just say they ain't looking like they're the ideal twins, all right? It ain't meshing, all right? And Brandon is really letting his emotions out and show this professor who he really is, you know what I'm saying? And instead of putting up the guard and the fakeness. And again, as this is all going on, this photographer guy is giving Cindy Walsh the full court press, okay? The full court, like, hey, Cindy, I've called you 4 times today. Why don't you call me back? And Cindy's looking at the Cindy's looking at the answer machine. Wow, what about that? Nobody ever remembers about the answer machine, right? Where there's like a fucking answer machine with a tape in it, right? Then it went digital eventually, but God, how times fly. So the kids notice this, right? And they go, God, we got to throw our family an anniversary dinner, another one, just to get their mind off it into funk. So that does bring Jim and Cindy together at the table while the kids in the other room trying to prepare food, and they're talking about, God, how things how it happens, how fast a marriage can go bad, and I work a lot, and how much you kind of almost like real life stuff, though. I'll give them that. Again, 90210, just like the last episode when Jackie Taylor was doing coke in front of her kid, they're doing coke talk on 90210 last episode. This episode, they're talking about infidelity, and they're talking about like real problems in a way. Maybe that was why it was such a hit, is where life gets busy, and next thing you know, a family or two couples or a couple will, they slowly drift apart. So they don't really fix it right here, but they definitely talk about it. Jim gets a little frustrated. Cindy goes over to this guy's house, this photographer, just to say, look, what we did yesterday and kissed, it was wrong. It was wrong, all right? And at the same time, Brenda and Brandon were supposed to come over to this guy's house to take some pictures. He was like, I want to take pictures of you two, and it'd be great. It'd be like a yin and yang thing. Well, as they're pulling up, they see their mom running off, and they're thinking, oh man, mom just got it on with this photographer guy, right? And they're like, how could she do this type talk, But really, Cindy just came over and said, look, bud, I can't do this, all right? What I did yesterday was wrong. I'm sorry if I misled you. I know I was just dripping sexy, Cindy Walsh, on you, and you might have got a little bit of that drippy sexiness on your shoes, but I'm sorry, I misled you there. Cut to the next day, Cindy starts crying when her husband says, look, I love you. I'm going to work right now, okay? I got to pay for you to sit at home in your Beverly Hills house while you do nice, beautiful gardening, and, you can sit around doing weed edibles all day, okay, Cindy? Just sit around doing weed edibles and Stars of Death weed edibles and smoking some of that good ganj while I go off to the accounting room and count beans. And I know you got a bad life, but please don't cheat on me with this hot photographer, Robert Redford, son of a bitch. And I'll be back. Cindy starts crying, right? Cut to the next episode. Jim Walsh ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? Jim Walsh ain't no punk. On the way to work, Jim Walsh stops by this photographer's house and says, hey, remember me? Yeah, you got it all. I see you got it all, dude. I see you got this. I see your little paintings from all over the world, these little pictures. But guess what? Leave my fucking family alone, dude. Sorry to drop that F word, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's the only way to describe it. He says, leave my family alone. Get your own, right? That's what kind of Jim Walsh says, right? Says, get your own, man. Get your own, all right, dude? You got it all with your Robert Redford shit going on there. You know what I'm saying? I see those tight ass 90s jeans. I see that wiener in those. That's a bit of inappropriate, all right? Because this guy's a piece of ass too. I don't even want to say his name, the photographer. I'm not even trying to put his name in the streets like that, Because seriously, this episode made me mad when I seen what Cindy was trying to do to the Walsh home. It was very irresponsible, but it was irresponsible with Jim too. It was irresponsible with Jim. All right, I'm getting off on a rant here, okay? I do apologize. So basically, Jim comes over and says, "Hey, back off, bud. Get your own, dude." Long story short. All right. Comes to find out, towards the end, just like every 90210 episode, Brandon, they figure out that their mom isn't going to have an affair. This guy stops by the house and says, hey, I got to go to Canada on an assignment. Could have been a lie. I felt like it was a bit of a lie. He's just basically saying, hey, I'll get out of your hair, and I do apologize also. And so Cindy puts a cap on that whole idea, right? Her eyes were saying, like, please take me. Her eyes were saying, please take me and Pornhub me hard style, right? That's a little inappropriate. But Cindy ends it, right? And then it cuts to Brandon and Brenda coming up the driveway. They see this creep. He says, you got a good family. They all hug. In comes Jim. And the last scene, Jim Walsh comes in and goes, kids, can you handle it for a night? I'm going to take your mom up to Tahoe and... you know what I'm saying? I'm going to really put some miles on this body of hers. He didn't really say that, but it was kind of inappropriate. I was thinking that he was going to do. And Jim ended it like that. Just like every 90210 episode, They start off the episode. They give you the problem. They always put a cap on the top of it. At this point, as time goes on, they do have problems that will drip into other episodes with gambling problems and drug problems and alcohol problems and love problems. But yeah, look, this wasn't my favorite episode. You're not going to get a lot out of me on this one. I see what they're doing. They're trying to highlight all the characters. You know, this one's a little boring to me just because I was never really a Cindy Walsh. I didn't watch this show because of Cindy Walsh. I did not watch 90210 because of Jim Walsh. It really wasn't my thing. I know they got to highlight it just to kind of show you who they are. And then eventually they kind of like slowly drift away from it. I'm more of a Dylan McKay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Dylan McKay is just dripping, swag, sexy, come get it, everybody type of juice. You know, I'm more of a Kelly Taylor. I'm more of a Brandon Walsh. Later years, Donna Martin, after she got the breast implants, I go, whoa, 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 whoa. This is why I'm watching. Okay, a little bit of a Noah Hunter. I always thought Noah Hunter of Hunter Oil was kind of my thing. You know what I'm saying? I like a Steve Sanders. I like to watch a little bit of Rush Sanders, right? Hell, I don't even mind watching a little bit of Samantha Sanders. Okay. And I do like Kelly Taylor's mom, Jackie Taylor, doing a little coke in an episode. That's more my style. I mean, that's why this episode, if it doesn't sound that great, it's because I really Cindy Walsh is kind of a little too vanilla for me. But they pulled it off. I mean, this was episode 7 on IMDb, but it's really their 8th episode, counting the pilot. And you got to know a little bit about who they are. But I'm more about the 90210 kids. Okay, that's more. You throw a little bit of Valerie Malone at me, and I'm just like, whoa, Valerie Malone rolling up a doobie on the first episode? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Guys, this is 90210 Faux Show Podcast. Please subscribe. Please let people know. Please share it around. If not, I completely understand. I'm a 41-year-old man in my basement in Chicago, Illinois, with my German Shepherd breathing heavy behind me here. Guys, this episode was aired on November 29th, 1990. You could follow me on Eric Pennell, 1975 on Instagram. And please, guys, let's have a good day. Let's go get it. Thank you so much for listening. Bye now.